Welcome to My First Dungeon Playtest, the tabletop role-playing podcast where we put game designers through their paces as we test drive a one-shot of an in-progress game they are working on, and then circle back around to discuss what went right, what went wrong, and how we can make their games even better. Designing an original tabletop role-playing game is an incredibly fun and imaginative process, but at some point you've got to take the words on the page and put them in front of real people to play with. Normally, one would wait until some of the kinks are ironed out before they recorded said game for public consumption, but I think it's only fair that if I want to put so many game masters through the test on this show, then I should also be willing to jump headfirst out of the frying pan and into the proverbial fire. As ever, my name is Brian Flaherty, and this season we are playing a game I created called Schrodinger's Cats. It is a game of kidnapped cats and quantum mechanics that draws inspirations from the mechanics of games like 10 Candles and Fiasco and the aesthetics of Honey Heist and Something is Wrong with the Chickens. I've had a ton of fun writing the first draft of the game, but it is said that no plan survives first contact with the enemy. So I think it's time that we meet that enemy. And that enemy is my good friends who agreed to play the game! First up, we have a pillar of the My First Dungeon games. You will recognize her as Barbara from 10 Candles, Wendy, the chicken of prophecy from Something is Wrong with the Chickens, and as Natasha Bolshoikach from the 20-Sided podcast, it is Abby Hepworth.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Excited to be playing yet another cat.
Oh, yeah. You got a lot of cats in you, don't you?
With the cat world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up is another returning voice that I'm thrilled to have back on the mic. You loved him as Gord from our very first season and as Cleve Beef Chief from the 20-Sided podcast. He is also the host of Nerdy for 30, the podcast where he and his co-host talk about nerdy-ish things for 30-ish minutes. It's my friend and yours, but mostly mine, so back the fuck off. Kevin Bauer!
Hello, Brian. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thanks for being here. It's good to have you back.
Anytime. Seriously, anytime. You can call me in the middle of the night.
I will.
Well, okay.
And finally, I am pleased to introduce a new voice to this podcast. She is a seasoned improviser, regularly performing at the People's Improv Theater, The Magnet, and QED. We can find her hosting a number of shows, including Character, I Hardly Know Her. You can also hear her in the upcoming podcast Game On from Story Pirates and Sounds Funny Radio. And if you ever get a chance to see her two-woman show, The Parent Trap, Lord of the Twins trilogy, I highly recommend you do so. Please welcome Julia Schroeder.
Wow, Brian. Okay, you know when people are guests on a podcast, they go, wow, that intro. You hear them do that. And now I would like to be someone who goes, Brian, wow. That intro. Truly, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Welcome, one and all. And thank you for being playtesters for this game. I'm super excited, super nervous to try this out. We've never done anything with it, so who knows if this will work. Hopefully it does, or at least doesn't fully implode. But either way, excited to have you guys along for the ride.
Yeah.
You guys ready to get started?
Absolutely.
I hope so.
Hell yeah.
Maybe.
Remind me the stakes again.
The stakes. Everyone knows that we cats have 9 lives. Once spent, they linger and frolic in an in-between place called the Liminality, neither living nor truly dead. They are our friends, ourselves, our invisible companions. Now, someone has begun to steal away our spent lives, imprisoning them somewhere beyond. To find out who and to rescue ourselves, we must find a way into this liminal space. To be both alive and dead, we must become Schrodinger's cats. But before we can do that, we got to become cats. So we're going to start by doing a little bit of character creation. So we're going to start by figuring out what kind of cats y'all are. Who would like to start us off by rolling on the cat breed table?
I can do it.
All right. Go ahead. Take a D6 and go and roll a D6.
I'm going to do this one for cat breed. That's a 2.
2. You are a tabby cat.
Tabby.
Congrats.
Abby the tabby.
Wow.
Abby the tabby. Oh, I'd be mad if you got anything else.
Julia, want to bat second?
I would.
It's not cleanup. Batting second. You want to bat second?
Yeah. And what I know is that I was on deck before, and then now that would mean that I'm up next.
You're up. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Shakes.
Kitten.
Kitten.
Got a kitten.
You're a wee little lad.
And actually, before we roll with Kevin, Julia, how does your kitten know Abby's tabby cat?
Well, so I'm kind of like a niece. So this tabby cat was like best friends with my mom. They grew up together and whatever. And then my mom goes, "This is someone you call aunt." You know what I mean? It's not by blood,
Right.
but this is someone you call. So I'm
Family.
I'm new to the world, but I feel safe with Abby's tabby cat.
Love it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Kevin, go ahead and roll on the cat breed table.
All right. Got a 3.
3, a hairless cat.
Oh, a little skin dog.
They need love too. Skin dog.
And actually, Kevin, let's stick with you. Let's go ahead and roll on the personality table. So go ahead and roll another D6 and tell me what you get.
Oh, this is going to be a big one. Oh, that's a 6.
Hellcat.
Oh, I mean, it's fitting.
A hairless
Here's
Hellcat.
the descriptors on that. Just remember, 5 of my 6 ends are sharp. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is right up my alley.
I stole that directly from Calvin and Hobbes.
Love. God, I grew up on. Well, we'll get into this later.
Calvin Hobbes, best
In the
comic.
therapy session.
Kevin, before we move on to everyone else's personality, what happened to your cat?
Oh, boy.
Why is he such a little Hellcat?
Let's see. Framed for a crime he didn't commit.
Yeah.
He, was in the wrong place at the wrong time and took the fall for some people that he had the misfortune of trusting. But that trust that he had back in the day, that's all gone. Now, he's just here for himself and no one else.
Who was it that betrayed him all those years ago?
You know what? I'm going to say that it was the kitten's mom and Abby's former best friend.
Yes. Yes.
Scandal.
Okay.
She's on the lamb.
And Julia, what was your mom's name?
Siri. Yeah.
All right, everyone mute your iPhones now. So as a Hellcat, your special cat power is whenever you roll a dice, you can choose to re-roll all of the dice in your dice pool. However, if you do so, you must keep the new result. So if something goes bad or not as good as you want it to be, you can re-roll it, but you got to take what you get.
Oh, I love that.
Abby, why don't you go and roll on the personality table?
Okay, we'll do this one. 3.
3, copycat. Innovation is just plagiarism with style.
Love it.
And true to form, I do not know if I plagiarized that line. Abby, your power is going to be whenever you roll, you can assume the ability of the character who just rolled.
Ooh, so I get to do everything.
So you get to do a little everything.
Get to do it.
A little bit of all of the things.
Abby, you have a name for your cat yet?
Um,
Or if you're still thinking of that, why is your cat such a copycat? Or who was the person they were copying?
I think I'm going to be... I'm just thinking my grandma was very much a crazy cat lady. So I'm like, what were all of her cats' names? We're going to go with Brownie. He was my favorite tabby cat. He hated everyone except for Grandpa. But Brownie will be she, her pronouns. And Brownie is a copycat because she used to be just a house cat and has since been allowed outside, has escaped or whatever, and has absolutely no idea how to function outside of like a living room. And so just kind of copies everybody else that she sees.
Oh, I love this.
And Siri was her BFF because it was the first cat she met outside of the house who was nice to her.
I really love the idea of a cat going outside and just being bad at it.
She's like, I know how to climb a cat tower. Is a tree just a large cat tower?
Did they make trees based off cat towers?
Why are trees not soft like cat towers? I don't understand.
Where's my little toy? I always find it up here. Julia, why don't you go ahead and roll on the personality table? Let's see what kind of cat you are.
I would love to. Also, does it matter what die I use?
I was
No,
just using a
all
different
good.
one for each one to make it fun for
I think
myself.
that's fun. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the brown one for personality. 5.
5, alley cat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm streetwise. I can improvise. I said, ooh, 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 ooh. I love Oliver and Company, and I love Billy Joel. Awesome. That absolutely makes sense. Your power is when you roll, you may re-roll one die in your dice pool that's neither a 1 or a 6. You must keep that new result. And you can do this without spending a life, which is how everyone else would have to do it.
Oh, wow. Wait. So explain that one more time. If I roll a 1 or a 6, then I can roll again, or I can always roll again. It just can't be. Just say it one more time.
So anytime you roll, you're going to roll all the dice we have left on the table. So starting off, it'll be 12. If you roll more 6s than 1s, that means it's a success. Whatever you're trying to do, you succeed. If you roll more 1s than 6s, that means you fail. Whatever you're trying to do fails and something bad happens, and all those 1s go in the box.
Okay.
If you roll the same amount or none of either, i.e. the same amount of 1s and 6s, it's a mixed success. What you're trying to do happens, but with a complication.
Okay.
So by being an alley cat, by being streetwise, being able to improvise, you can take one of those die that's neither a 1 or a 6 and try to re-roll it, giving you a better chance at possibly succeeding.
Uh-huh. And you are going to be able to tell me this again?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, great.
We're going to repeat all this many times. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, sick.
Julia, you are a streetwise alley kitten.
Yeah.
What's the latest scrap you got into?
Oh.
And was it your fault?
Oh, man. No, it wasn't. Obviously. So there was this bodega that I was like really trying to become their bodega cat. And the guy there was like, no, we don't need you. We don't need you. They're kind of like an upscale one, like organic, like organic bodega. Boo.
They're in Williamsburg.
Boo, fancy
But-
bodegas.
exactly. And I was trying to get in because they have like, good food there and whatever. But the guy was like, we don't need you. And I tore up his ankles. And then everyone tried to arrest me. Literally everyone tried to arrest me. Can you arrest a cat? I don't know. They certainly tried. So this story is still going. So then I took a shit on their front porch. And then that's basically that. I've been on the run from them ever since. So I cannot go to North Williamsburg, at least in the next few weeks while I'm still growing, and they would recognize me.
What's the name of the bodega with the $10 bacon, egg, and cheese?
Lorimer Gourmet.
That's great detail work.
Definitely a real place.
Incredible.
Lorimer Gourmet.
Lorimer Gourmet, go fuck yourself. Bacon, egg, and cheese is only $5 or less. Otherwise, it's an artisanal egg experience.
Exactly. I could go sit down at a restaurant and get that price.
Julia, let's stick with you. So the next table up is our quantum powers table.
Mm-hmm.
So the power that you manifest when we go through into the quantum realm.
Yes.
I'm going to say let's hold off on that for the moment. Let's go ahead and roll a d6. This is to determine how many lives you have left of your 9 lives as a cat.
Whoa!
So you
I love this.
Roll a d6 and then add 2 to it.
Okay. It is a 6, and so adding 2 to that, that's 8.
So you are still on, as a kitten, you're still on your first life.
Aww.
That totally makes sense for me.
Yeah.
I love it. Abby, why don't you go ahead and do the same?
Okay. So that's 6. And then I add 2. 8.
You are also on your first life.
I
Yeah.
feel like
boy.
as a house cat, yes, I was very pampered. I didn't really run into trouble. And now that I'm outside, I'm like, there's so many things.
I also really like it that, like, yes, you're outside and you're bad at it, but you're really good at copying people who are good at it, which kind of like de facto
Very
makes
skilled.
you good at it.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Fake it till you make it.
It's imposter syndrome come to life in the form of a cat.
But like really working out for you.
Yeah.
I think that's how more of us should live. I think it's fun. I think that's how you learn.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
Brian, it's roll to determine the number of lives you've lost.
What?
Oh.
So do we want to switch it?
Ooh.
If we're adding 2, that's so many.
I feel like a kitten On its last life?
You know what? That would also make so much sense for me.
That bodega incident was a lot more violent than
You
know what?
A few details.
yeah.
You know what I want to do? Just for the sake of the playtest, to have some differences between us. I want you both to roll a d6. Whoever has the higher number is still on their first life. Whoever has the lower number is on their last life.
Whoa.
Oh my
Okay, so we're both rolling.
Oh my God. Well, I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm on my last life?
You're on your last life.
All equally makes sense. I came outside and was really bad at it for a long time. And so it was really hard.
But I feel like this one's... Oh, were we supposed to draw paw prints? We really were.
I did for fun.
You can if you want. When I finally make an actual character sheet, they'll have paw
it'll
prints
have
on
it
it.
on there.
Make it
I
canon.
wanted to, yeah. I was really bad at being an outdoor cat for like a long time. Got into a lot of scraps almost immediately, and now I've been copying and doing a good job. But for a long time, it was like,
I will
we're
say,
in trouble.
though you're on your last life, having a lot of lives spent means you have a lot of like memories and experiences to draw upon, which will allow you to re-roll more dice and like help you kind of through the game.
Always a silver lining. Thanks, Brian.
Always a silver lining.
It's a great game master. Are you a game master? Is this what this is?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Is that what you want?
I guess, I should have said, Julia, have you ever played any kind of tabletop role-playing game before?
Nar.
This is what you want from a playtesting group. One person who's never played, one person who plays with you often, one person who's played with you a lot, but not recently.
Yes! Look at we have the spectrum.
Yeah, we're a perfect pool.
Can I say I'm loving so far?
Great. Kevin, why don't you go ahead and roll a d6 and
right.
add 2.
4 plus 2, 6. So we're going with lives lost.
Let's go with lives lost. So you've lost 6 lives. You have 3 lives remaining. So go ahead.
It's not
and,
so bad.
The number to keep track of is 6, essentially,
Okay, cool.
because you'll be able to check those off to re-roll dice.
Oh, also, Julia, what's your kitten's name?
Oh, Steve Jobs. Sometimes I go by Jobs too. Just for short.
Siri and Steve Jobs. There's a bit of a theme here.
Apple, if you want to sponsor the podcast,
Steve
I guess you can.
Jobs.
Steve Jobs. He, him, she, her.
You know, I'll actually go by any pronoun.
Okay, cool.
Anywhere. I'll answer to anything.
And Kevin, you've got 6 lives remaining. What is your cat's name? Wild non sequitur of a statement to start with. So you've got 6 lives left. What's your name?
I like the, I know that this isn't how it works with real cats, but I like to think that my cat didn't start off hairless. Just like a reflection of the hard life.
You could have alopecia.
I was thinking more like,
You're a
like
balding
maybe stress
cat?
related. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm going with Smooth Rudy.
Smooth Rudy.
Smooth Rudy.
And you going with he, him?
Yeah.
Smooth Rudy, Steve Jobs, and Brownie.
Steve Jobs.
Jobs. Sorry.
Steve Jobs.
Jobs.
Steve in quotes.
Jobs.
Hey, Jobs.
Literally exactly how I have it written. Steve
That's
Jobs.
That is on my birth certificate.
Yeah.
That I had to make, of course, because I'm just
That
an
cats
alley cat,
have.
but-
That alley cats have.
So we have Abby, or Brownie, she, her, the tabby cat, who's a copycat, who is kind of de facto aunt to Steve Jobs. Any pronouns? Played by Julia, who's a kitten, who is a streetwise alley cat. Learned the streets are her university. And we have Smooth Rudy, the hairless Hellcat, played by Kevin. So before we move on to Quantum Realm, before we really get into the game proper, we need to figure out who your guys' enemies are. What is this force that seems to be behind these catnappings? So I'm going to actually do some rolling on the mastermind table.
Ooh.
All right, so I'm going to roll for who is the mastermind
Do we
behind.
get to know the mastermind?
Yeah, I'll say you can know this.
Okay, cool.
2, a jealous dog. There's only so much love to go around, and I need it all.
Whoa.
The little party was hoping for overzealous animal control officers, but I'll take a jealous dog.
I feel like overzealous would have worked with the bodega story, yeah, but
Oh, totally.
That's true.
jealous dog can work with the bodega.
I don't know. The bodega hasn't been able to capture this cat, and they're like, we got to call in the big guns.
Mm-hmm. Keep shitting on our front porch.
Every day. Next up is going to be where the headquarters is that you guys believe they are hiding your past lives. So we've got number 2, an abandoned. 6, laundromat.
Yes.
Feeling really mobby now. And I'm going to roll one thing behind the board. Ooh, interesting. You guys also have an ally that is going to be helping you out. Rolled a 2 for the neighborhood watchdog.
Whoa.
Dogs on dogs on dogs.
Yeah. On both sides,
Steve Jobs, you're the streetwise alley cat. I'd say you probably have the lay of the street.
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably knew this neighborhood dog before anybody else.
Yeah.
What is this dog's name?
Barley.
Love it.
Yeah.
And what's Barley look like?
Barley is a mix. There's some Great Dane in there. There's also some Jack Russell Terrier in there. Our Jack
big,
Russell
some
Terriers.
small.
Yeah, giant and then tiny.
Very medium-sized dog.
Truly an abomination.
So
Just
sick.
like big dog body, little dog legs.
Hell yeah, Barley. And one last detail. What is the name of this jealous dog villain? And I don't actually want his real name. I want to know, what is he known as on the street? What is, their moniker?
I mean, I want it to just be something like the pug or something.
Yeah.
I like the pug.
Yeah.
Pug.
Except the dog is like a mini Labradoodle.
But he's got big pug energy.
You got big pug energy.
Any other last minute little details you guys want to add about either the environment we're in? I'm kind of guessing New York City at this point,
Yeah,
since we're
yeah.
located in partially South
Since
Williamsburg.
we've established that there are bodegas and bodega cats.
We're off the L stop on the L, or the Lorimer stop on the L.
Yep.
Any other details about your characters or kind of how you guys, I guess actually Smooth Rudy, you were framed by Julia's mom and Brownie's best friend. How'd you get involved with those two?
Oh, so basically how do we know each other?
Oh, yeah.
before this is
How do you
started?
know each other?
yeah.
And why are you on good terms with them?
Gotcha.
Or at least good enough to be hanging out in this moment?
Let's see. I'm thinking maybe it's kind of like a Marauders from Harry Potter situation where it's there was a betrayal, like a Peter Pettigrew betrayal. But still, maybe we knew each other too. We're part of the friend group. And then, we got kind of like a Harry Potter thing going on.
Yes.
We're which two would you be?
Sorry, with Steve Jobs. I don't know how I forgot.
How could you possibly forget that it's Steve Jobs?
The most specific of the names.
Yeah, I was also because you're best friends with my mom, right? Because
Yeah.
that could either mean that my mom has passed or my mom
I think
really
your mom's
kinda
on the
screwed up.
lam.
Yeah.
She did something shady, took advantage of Smooth Rudy in some kind of a heist,
Yeah,
and
I think
is
so,
now
too.
on the run somewhere trying to lay low.
I think so too.
Oh my
And
God.
then I'm very optimistic. I'm no, it's a misunderstanding. I'm sure everything's fine. And you're I will seek my revenge.
I love that. Maybe you've been living in a nice apartment and everything, and it's kind of on the dime of the money from the heist.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Scandal, Siri. How could Siri betray us? I like the idea, though, that your mom and therefore the litter was someone who rescued you guys and gave you all Apple product names. You've got a sibling out there named iPod.
With shuffle.
Yeah. But,
PowerBook G5.
That one was the run for the litter.
Someone like did like a catch and release of like, catch you guys, had you all fixed, gave you all like, Apple themed names.
Yeah. The youngest one is Tim Cook.
Yes.
And also the least liked.
Yeah, unfortunately. Just kind of like, there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We open on a very, very early morning somewhere in South Williamsburg, in Brooklyn, in New York City, baby. You guys all find yourselves walking towards the L train, heading down the stairs. As you get there, you see a Canarsie-bound L that is just 3 minutes away. And sitting next to you is Barley, who's kind of like hanging out over by Steve Jobs. Barley looks over at Steve Jobs and goes, well, yeah, so, I got this woman who I think could help you. We've been seeing a lot of, cat lives disappearing real quickly. And, it's concerning me and it's concerning a lot of us. But I think this woman might be able to help you out.
All right. Oh, well, who is she? Introduce her, and then I'll be the judge of that.
I'll tell you, she's way out in Park Slope. We're gonna take the L train to get to Park Slope somehow.
No, that makes sense to me.
No, you know what? She's out in Coney Island because that's more interesting than Park Slope. She's out there in Coney Island. She's, okay. I guess her great grandfather or something was like, I don't know, a real big scientist or something. But she thinks she can help you kind of, help figure out where these cats is at.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I've been to Coney Island before, and people are cool down there. There's a big old, hot dog eating contest.
Oh, you've gotten into one of Nathan's hot dogs before?
Yeah, well, right when I was first born, I took a trip down there, and it was right around the 4th of July, and let's just say I had my first chili cheese hot dog at that point. So I've got good memories from Coney Island.
The chili cheese is the way. I mean, I puke every time after
Me
I eat
too.
one of those, and
Me too.
that's how you know it's cooked. Exactly. They don't want you to eat it.
No.
You hear bing bong, and the doors open. It's early enough that it's not too weird that 3 cats and a dog get on a train, but quite frankly, even in New York City, that's never weird. You see weirder things. You guys find your seats, and as the doors close and you begin to head on down, way to the end of the L train. This also isn't how you get to Coney Island. This is how you get to Canarsie. You guys transfer somewhere and get on the NQR, and you get to Coney Island.
Right.
You start making your way the long trek to Coney Island. You guys talk amongst yourselves a little bit, but Smooth Rudy and especially Brownie, you guys have been feeling this strange lack recently. Whenever you guys are out on the streets, or Brownie, when you were at home in your apartment before you decided to go out on the street or were forced out onto the street, you guys would like every now and then jump into a cardboard box and you'd see reflections of your past lives and you'd play with them. Like whenever you got the zoomies, you were like running around your apartment chasing yourself, your past figments. And whenever you would stare up into space for like an hour at a time and just see versions of you playing on the ceiling, and you just enjoy watching them. But for the past few weeks, those past lives, those past versions of you haven't been around. And you kind of started talking to some friends around the neighborhood, and slowly but surely you began to realize that, like, yeah, Buttercup's missing her past lives, and Charlie Dog is missing his past lives, and you begin to recognize a pattern. And it's about this time that Barley kind of came in and said, like, hey, I think I might know someone who can help. Brownie, as you make a transfer off the L and are making your way to Coney Island, Barley, oh wait, who has 8 lives left? Abby, you have 8 lives spent.
I have 8 lives spent. Jobs has 8 lives left.
And 4-ish left for Rudy Smooth.
Barley kind of leans over to you.
You looking up the directions to Cody?
I sure am.
I know it's off the N. Think you could also take the C to get there? No, I think it's just the NQR. It's just the yellow line.
Is it just the O?
Wait, you can make
I
a
feel like you
transfer
can.
the L to the Q.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This
At-
is
14th Street Union Square.
There we go.
Union
Shit.
Square.
So we're
So
going
you're
the wrong
going
way.
into Manhattan.
We're going the wrong way.
Terrible.
Yeah.
That was Brownie was the one who was in charge of getting directions for today. And she
Yeah.
was like, yeah, definitely. We definitely take the L and we get on over here and we go in this direction. This is definitely the way that we get there.
I knew, I of course knew that we were going the wrong way, but I just wanted to spend a little more time with my buddies.
Aww.
You guys get from Bedford going into First Avenue, that long section under the tunnel, and right as the Bedford doors close, you see a guy sneak in with a boombox. He goes, "All right, showtime, everybody!" And you have
Brownie
to.
loves it.
This is like the best show I've ever seen. Oh my god.
You watch a guy dance with a baseball cap for longer than you'd like.
I'm just fully in awe. Cat being like, hey, wow.
It's also funny. He does the full show, like really goes hard, and he's like probably pretty good. You are the only people in here. It's
Yes.
3 cats and a
Yes.
dog, but he performs for you, and at the end he brings his hat around as if hoping for a tip.
I definitely like fully rub against the hat and get like all rub it against his legs, basically trying to be like, you did so good.
He just kinda, like, looks down and goes,
Brownie.
If you like it, just smile. Just give me a smile. I can be paid in smiles. All right, let's go. You guys make your way all the way to Union Square, transfer the NQR, transfer the Q, and head into Coney Island. This entire game is just going to be me messing up subway directions.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Brownie, you, of the 3 people here, had the most friends. You've lived a, maybe not necessarily a long life, but an eventful enough life that you find yourself on your last life. But as you kind of age in that way, there are lots more friends around. You know, you have 8 buddies that are always running around near you in this kind of like spectral ghost-like form, helping you out, giving you advice, making you a better cat for their experiences. What has it felt like for Brownie not having those people around for the past week or 2?
So Brownie kind of turned from indoor cat to outdoor cat of the family that she, or the couple she lives with, like moved from, I don't know, Manhattan to Brooklyn and had like a little outdoor space, and we're like kind of playing around with letting the cat out, and then had a kid and had a second kid, and so they were paying a little less attention to the cat and whatever, and so she started spending more time outdoors and exploring and doing things, and she was always like, yeah, no, it's fine. They're doing their own thing, and it's okay. Because I got my buddies, and I had all her past lives hanging out with, and it's at first it was like when they started disappearing and she didn't really know what was happening. It was very much a like, is this normal? Is this like an outdoor cat thing? Like, what's going on? Why can't I? Is it because there's other cats around, so I don't have my cats? And like, what's happening? And now she's realizing this is not normal. And or it's like everybody's been experiencing this thing, but it's not like an outdoor cat thing. And she's very wary and nervous about being like a lonely kitty.
Barley, who's known you for a long time, he saw you lose a couple of those lives, and has helped you out since, and he's been someone that you've been like staying close to a fair bit of the time. Kind of puts a big floppy dog ear on you. Great Dane has a big ear? No.
Jack Russell Terriers might.
Jack Russell Terriers do.
No, I'm pretty sure
This
they have
guy-
tiny little pointy ears.
Yeah, totally.
Well, this guy's got big floppy Dumbo ears.
He's got
That's
wait,
Great
what's
Dane.
the
That's Great Dane.
what's the one where they're just big flop, saggy, short legs?
Oh, yeah.
Basset Hound. He's got a little Basset Hound.
got a little
to him.
basset hound to them. Real mutt, but like all the best parts of everything.
By the end of this, we're gonna have listed like 14 types of dog. He's
someone-
true Frankenstein.
Someone's
of
gonna
dogs.
get an idea and like make this dog. You know, as you do. He kind of leans over on you, flops an ear around you, kind of in this like arm around your shoulder type way. Goes, listen, this woman has seemed pretty smart to me. I mean, I don't know a lot about this like sciencey stuff. You know, I was I'm a working class dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she seems like she's known her stuff. I found her all the way out here. I've been looking around for you guys, trying to find a way for you to get back these lives, because, you know, I don't understand what exactly it is you're going through, but I see how distressed it's been making all my friends, and just trying to help you out. So, but just buck up. Just buck up.
Yeah,
I think it'll be okay.
I can buck. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's the thing I do.
It's certainly a thing you try to do.
Yeah.
Bing bong. The doors open at the Coney Island stop on the Q train, and you guys exit and start walking towards Coney Island proper. As you are walking, you see the entranceway. It's still like very early in the morning, probably like 6, 7 a.m. or something. Nothing has opened yet in Coney Island because I don't know the hours of Coney Island, but in this world, it has not opened yet. But you see a small cutout in the wire fence that Barley kind of goes and like kind of pushes his way through. You see he's getting a little like nicked on the side of it, but he kind of like opens up this hole nice and big for you. Smooth Rudy, I think you have been a Hellcat for a little while now. You've been all around this city. You see Barley open up this like hole in the fencing, and you're like, that's not the way in. What does Smooth Rudy know is the actual like good way into Coney Island?
Oh boy. I think it's got to be something with the Coney Island cyclone. So I want to say that maybe something, maybe like a bunch of rats dug out one of the support beams, and then there's a tunnel the rats dug, and you can go in from the support beam wherever we're going.
Hell yeah.
You make your way over to the... Do you tell everybody else, or do you just go yourself?
Oh, I'm going to myself. I fully don't trust anyone at this point.
You see Barley helping out everybody. You make your way off to the cyclone side. You burrow under this rat hole and come out on the other side. And as Steve Jobs is finally like sauntering through from this hole that Barley made, Barley kind of like pushes himself through. Oh, Jesus, fuck. With like some cuts up his back. You see, you are already there with a full chili cheese dog. With your legs, so you're sitting and your legs are crossed and you're just munching on a chili cheese dog. Barley looks up and he goes, hadn't changed a bit, have you?
Hey, don't worry about it, pal. You just worry about yourself.
I worry about myself, I worry about you, but you gotta learn to trust people, my guy.
Hey, I'll learn to trust people the same day somebody does something worth me trusting them for.
You see, he like, with his hand just kind of goes, you. And he begins to lead you along to a nearby, like, kiosk, like a ride operator stand.
As we're walking over, Brownie is like really curious because she's never seen a chili cheese dog, and she like kind of really wants, but she's also a little bit scared of you, so she's like trying to sniff. Like she's walking behind you, trying to like catch a whiff to identify like what this thing is. She's like,
hey, back off, house cat.
yeah, no, totally. How, is that stuff good?
It's the best.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm gonna get one later. Yeah, that's a plan. I'm gonna get one. Okay.
I throw up every time, and that's how you know it is the primo stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe I'll just wait a little bit, and then like if you throw it up, maybe I could just like have that.
You ever had chocolate? Chocolate's good. You realize Barley is too old to be still doing this shit. He leads you to the ride control center directly beneath the Wonder Wheel, the big Ferris wheel in Coney Island. And from your vantage point, you see a pair of pink Louis Vuitton stilettos that are like kicked up on the window that are like hanging out, and clearly someone is like just kind of lounging back. You hear Barley go, and you see the Louis Vuittons just kind of like kick up for a second as if like someone is waking up a little bit, and then just slowly go back down. She is I will say she's a bit odd too, so just like, I don't know, kind of come with me. And he leads you through the door, and inside the door you see a woman, probably in her like late 30s, blonde hair, but like really, really long, and in two like long pigtails. And she's wearing entirely Coney Island like maintenance worker gear, except for these pink Louis Vuitton stilettos. When she's kicked up, and she is just lounging asleep with a like boiler cap or like a train engineer's hat over her eyes as she's just leaning back.
Wait, she's the woman who can help us?
Yeah, she doesn't look it, I admit, but she is, as far as I can tell, the four-mind scientific genius of her age and maybe some other ages.
She looks like She looks like Erica Jane before if she didn't get rich.
Yeah, my lady loves that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I watch
That's actually like within my wheelhouse of knowledge. So yeah,
I knew you'd know.
yeah,
We have to discuss more later.
we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I jump right up on her and start kind of like pawing at her cheek.
You
Trying to
jump
wake
up on
her
her and start pawing at her cheek, kind of like giving her the biscuits.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
You see from her like lean back position, she kind of like nudges with like her eyebrows, the cap up, but not like not just in like one motion. She like kind of keeps doing it until the cap is fully back on her head somehow.
Oh my God.
Just like masterful control of all facial muscles. And you see this kind of like grease covered woman kind of look down at you and go, "Oh my God, you're so cute! Oh my God!" And she immediately gives you the chin scritches and just goes to town on those.
I get very jealous, so I also jump up into her lap and start being like, "I want chin squishes, chin squishes."
Oh, do you want chin scritches too? Oh, you're so jealous. Oh, come here.
I wish I could roll my R's. I can't purr, but skill I wish I had for this podcast recording. Yeah. Purr.
Rudy is fully 12 feet away.
Yeah.
Just like remnants, because he has no fur, just remnants of chili dog on his like his creepy face skin.
You see her look down at you and she goes, "Oh, and who's this? Do you want to come get chin scritches? Do you want to come get chin scritches?"
Rudy, come get the squishes.
Also, just leaning into like my voice being blown out today, I want to say that Rudy has vocal cord paralysis. So Rudy's just like, "Mow."
I'm going to get you. I know I will.
I feel like Rudy has sunglasses on. Quick detail.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, cool.
You picked up those shades a while ago from like a movie set when Tom Cruise was in town.
Sorry.
And they've not left your sight since.
I want to say it's the ones where like it's like the mirror blue lenses.
Yes.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like people wear them on like jet skis.
Yes.
Those.
Yes.
Exactly.
Gas station sunglasses.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
She looks down and Barley kind of saunters up next to her and puts a paw on her knee and goes, "Oh, Barley. Oh, are these the cats you were telling me about? Oh, great. You guys are here to try to figure out this cat problem, right?"
Yeah.
As you say that, she immediately, like, you see her mouth kind of go in this weird way and she kind of like contorts her mouth. And all of a sudden she speaks to you in cat. And she goes, "It's good to meet you. What's your name, dear?"
Oh my God, you speak cat. That's so exciting. Oh my God, how'd you learn it? Where'd you learn it? Who taught you that?
"Okay, I see you're maybe not the one I should talk to right away because you got a lot of questions on you.
do,
I can see it. I can see you got those curious eyes, and I love curious eyes."
I'm a really curious cat. My name's Brownie, and these are two of my best friends.
"Oh, Brownie, good to meet you. And what's your name?"
Pleasure. Steve Jobs. You could call me Jobs, though.
"Oh, Steve Jobs." And she immediately rips down a bunch of like things that are on the wall, and she's got a picture of Steve Jobs that's in like a gilded frame, and he's like looking really serious.
Whoa. We have my mom. My mom had that picture behind a dumpster, and said that's who I'm named after.
I
That's
probably
really
put
cool.
that. I put his picture behind like as many dumpsters as I can.
Oh, that's probably one I've seen.
Why?
I hang them up all over town. Well, like we do dumpsters. It's not the main place. I do them in like Chinese restaurants and
Yeah.
elevators
Yeah.
and behind dumpsters. I just want to like spread the word about Steve Jobs
Very cool.
in case people don't know.
Specifically to waste management folks.
Yeah. I'm trying to inspire people, you know?
I just need a whole separate podcast that's this woman's backstory.
And slowly changing
We're
accent.
gonna come back to her at a later point in time.
My little nervous Nelly friend over there. What's your name?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Barley looks down and goes, "Smooth Rudy."
See, this is why you can't trust people.
"Oh, you can trust Barley. He's a good pup." And she gives him big scritches, and he jumps up on her lap, kind of like pushes the two of you out of the way, and she immediately starts petting him. She spins around. Her legs have been like kind of up this whole time. She with her heel, kicks a lever, and all of a sudden the doors slam behind you. All of the walls kind of go, and all of a sudden this like drab little area, the entire area spins around and opens up into a like large laboratory. And she kind of picks up Barley, sits him on the ground. Well, why don't you come over here? I'll tell you what I know. And she leads you over to a big map of New York City with like a bunch of like radius circles, right? Starting near your home in South Williamsburg and kind of radiating out. And you see there is like also a large area around Coney Island, specifically like the park, that is also radiating outwards, but much smaller. And you see the area up by Coney Island is this like green, and the area down by South Williamsburg is in red. She points to the thing and goes, well, listen, this area down here, we don't know what exactly is causing it or how it's happening, but somehow cats are losing their past lives down here. Something is taking them and sucking them up or something. I don't know, but they're disappearing slowly, and it's radiating out from a point right around here. And she points to your neighborhood, specifically a local disused laundromat, about 3 doors outside of the Greenpoint G station. I don't know what's happening, but I'm trying to protect as many cats' lives as we can. So I'm trying to gather up as many as I can here because I know I can keep them safe here. And she slams on a button nearby, and you see a picture, like a live video feed of the Ferris wheel that is active, like it's rolling around, and there are cats climbing all over it. But you see, these aren't like physical cats. These are like spectral cats, past lives of cats that are jumping upside down and backwards and forwards and are playing all around it. And from this view, she clicks another button, and you see it goes to like photo negative, and there is a vroom, 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 kind of like a thing radiating out from the center of the Wonder Wheel. Listen, I've set up the best kind of spectral defense I can, but I don't know how far it'll reach. I'm jacking all the power from all of Coney Island into here. We've had to close down the park for like 2 weeks. We're really losing money at this point. But obviously it's worth it. I can only protect kind of this area of Brooklyn. I'm trying to pump it up as much as I can to get the entire city, but if you guys can figure out what the hell is happening, we might be able to save all these lives, all these past cats.
Yeah. So, like, do we need a Ferris wheel?
No. Ferris wheel will help, but it's only if we can get all the cats here. And obviously, like, you guys aren't going to be content with just being around Coney Island all your lives. You want to go explore. We got to figure out a way to keep the whole city safe. We got to be able to keep this entire place safe, or better yet, remove the threat entirely.
And me, I got plans of traveling one day.
Exactly.
Maybe even to Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia's beautiful this time of year.
But I don't risk it.
She rips down the picture of Steve Jobs as a picture of Nova Scotia. And she rips that down again as another picture of Steve Jobs.
That was cool.
Listen, I've been trying to find the right cats to take on this job, okay? Barley seems to think you three might be able to do this. You've got a mix of talents and skills. You know what you're doing on the streets. I think that'll be important.
Yeah, it's definitely me, too. Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
She looks down at Barley, looks up at you, and goes, I was confident like 10 seconds ago that you were right for the job. Are you actually right for the job, or are you just saying you're right for the job?
I'm totally right for the job, like, especially if it's at a laundromat. I love laundry. Laundry's like so cozy. Yeah, it's definitely me. I'm ready.
Aunt Brownie.
Yeah. Shh. Oh, okay.
Hey, listen, pal. We can do the job for you.
Yeah, we could do the job for you.
We could do the job for you.
But what we want to know is, what are you going to do for us?
Oh, you're so smart, Smooth Rudy.
I thought you might ask this. If you're willing to take the risk, I can certainly help to reunite you with your past lives and allow you to keep an access point to really be able to like play with them and spend more time with them, if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah.
Go back to a simpler time? That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I have a question. Let's say one of us hasn't lost any of their lives yet. Is this for the future too?
Yeah. I think if we nip this in the bud right now, you'll be able to play with your lives when they're gone.
Guys, quick sidebar.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, no, this sounds real good. Also, if they could throw in like a churro, that would be really good.
Can you throw in a churro?
Yeah, I think she kind of like bats around. She starts pulling stuff out of all of her pockets, and slamming it on the table. And goes, yeah, and she pulls out a 3/4 full churro. That is, as she's pulling stuff out, you realize it has leaked over like her phone and wallet. She goes,
Sick.
and she holds it up and goes, "Sounds like a deal."
Oh my god, I was just like pawing at her legs.
Okay, here you go. She feeds you this churro goo.
Guys, if you haven't had these, they're so good.
She kind of passes them around, and she goes, and if you like where that came from, and she slams the button, and a wall comes down, and she has a full like supermarket display of churros and treats and things.
Oh my god.
If you can do this, I'm willing to give you access to the marketplace.
Oh my god. Guys, churros are worth everything.
Smooth Rudy, I've got a question for you.
Please.
You've never been one to be bribed in this way, and I want to defer to you in this moment. And I don't know, that's a pretty big wall of churros.
Jobsy, I gotta say, I'm so proud of the fact that you are so young, so precocious, and you being so practical
Thank you.
and being skeptical about this kind of stuff. What I would recommend we do in a situation like this is we get the payment and the churros up front. That way, if shit hits the fan out there, we got the churros no matter what.
Holy.
You want to take point on this one?
You think I can handle it?
Kid, I see greatness in you.
I'm gonna cry. I got this. Listen, lady, we're intrigued, but we're not sold yet. What say you to giving us this entire wall of churros nows? Up front. And then we're down to do this whole deal.
We haven't done this yet. We've been playing this game for a little while. We haven't made a roll yet. And I feel like this is a good time as any to do that. So let's gather up all the dice.
Wait, we never rolled our quantum paranormal powers.
We will.
Okay,
No.
cool.
Ooh.
So take all 12 dice. You're going to roll all 12.
There you go, kid.
Thanks,
I'm
boss.
doing a thumbs up with my toe bean.
Yeah. I give you a little salute.
I try to do it too. Just copying everything you do. You got it. Come on, Jobsy.
I'm gonna do it all at once. Does that make sense?
Yeah, do it. Okay, push them all together. We're focusing just on the 6s and the 1s.
Oh, there's some ones in there.
So if we have more 6s than 1s, it's a success. If we have more 1s than 6s, it's a failure. And if we have the same number, it's a mixed success.
I think we have. Is that that's 6, so it's a success.
That's 5.
4 6s, 3 1s.
Okay, that is a success. So none of the dice go into the box.
Okay.
And you succeed. She looks down at you. She sees your little kitten face as you say nows. And you see she was fully preparing to argue and barter, but as you say that, you see her facade crack, and you see that this is absolutely a cat lady. Like, she is a cat lady through and through. You kind of move up next to her and like sidle up next to her and like give her a little like side body swipe
Yes.
pet. And she goes, it's cute. It's so stay strong, Heidi. Stay strong, Heidi. Stay strong, Heidi. Stay strong, Heidi. Oh, but it's so stay strong. That cabinet of treats is worth like $8,000. Stay strong, but I just want to give her everything. You see,
I'm doing like figure 8s in between her legs.
oh no! I love it. This
Look
is-
at that technique. It's a 10 out of 10.
Okay. I can't just like give it all to you, but you can have free reign anytime you want. You can come here, grab what you like. Does that seem fair?
I look back and give a couple nods to my friends.
Great work, Jobsy.
Yeah, Jobsy.
Thanks, you too. You got yourself a deal.
Okay, now to the dangerous part. And she reaches behind her, like shuffles through a big box, and she's like a big cardboard box behind her. She reaches in, pulls out like sweaters and shit, and stuff's thrown around. There's like a beaker that flies and smashes in the wall. And she reaches down and pulls out a smaller cardboard box. It just looks like a regular ass United States Postal Service priority mail box.
Brownie immediately starts trying to figure out whether or not she could fit, and therefore sits.
As she sets it down, she sees you go to jump and goes, oh, no, not yet. This may look like a standard box, okay? But this is actually a perfect recreation, actually an improvement of my great-great-grandfather's hypothetical box. With it, you guys can travel from this realm into the quantum realm, into the liminality, somewhere between here and death, where the rest of your lives are. And she kind of, as you see this thing, you see up on the screen where she had like turned it to photo negative, and you saw like the vroom, 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 and all the cats playing. You see that it has on the top liminal view. If you go in here, you can come out the other side. I don't exactly know how it will work and what will happen to you on the other side, but I know you'll be able to get there. In what state, I don't know. So this is a dangerous mission, but I think this problem can only be solved from the other side. I've tried to explore. Barley's helped me. We've searched the area top and bottom, but that laundromat is a completely abandoned laundromat. We haven't been able to find anything. But I think maybe there's something hinky going on the other side. If you guys can get there and explore, you might be able to figure it out. Maybe stop this madness from happening.
Can we get our friends back?
Then you get your friends back.
And all other cats get their friends back?
That's my hope. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think will happen. And I really hope it'll happen. I bought all these treats for all the cats when they're back.
Oh, so we gotta share those?
Team meeting.
Smooth ready?
See, this is why you can't trust nobody in this life.
Oh, yeah.
We just made a negotiation for all these treats. Now she's trying to pull the rug out from under us.
No, I didn't realize that was part of the plan.
Well, she said we could take some. So why don't we just take them all?
Let's put as many of these things into the box as possible.
I love this.
Yeah.
I think I was born for this moment.
You guys see the cornucopia of a display behind you, fully like professionally lit too. She sets down the box. Take whatever you like, whatever supplies you think you need, grab it and prepare yourself, because I don't know what's on the other side of this. I don't know what might be waiting for you. I can't guarantee your safety or your success, but I can guarantee you a chance. That's all I can do. That's all I've ever wanted to do for the kiddies in my life. Just give them a chance.
You're a real good lady, Heidi.
Thanks, Brownie. Gives you some scritches.
So we go grab supplies?
Yeah, whatever you think you need.
All right, guys, I
grab
did it! I try to jump up onto like the highest shelf possible and just start batting everything I can onto the floor. And I'm like, you guys gonna catch it? You gonna get it?
Go ahead and roll your dice pool as you attempt to like climb this thing.
Oh, it's not for the batting, it's for the climbing?
It's for the climbing. It's for the combination.
All right, so that's 2 6s.
Uh-oh.
4 5s, 2 4s, 1 2, and we don't need to talk about the 1.
3 1s.
A royal flush.
So right now, what would happen is that is a failure. You would fail in some way, and all the ones would go into the box. The dice pool would shrink, and you'd be getting closer towards the end. If you want, you can either use your power as a copycat, which you can't right now because no one else has used their power yet. Oh. Or you can reflect on one of your past lives for a chance to re-roll one of the 2s, 3s, 4s, or 5s. You can do this with as many lives as you want, but once you get to no lives left, you're getting into dangerous territory.
And in order for this to be a success, I would need to get 1 more 6 or 2 more 6s.
1 more 6 would be a mixed success, so you would have some kind of success, but half of the ones rounded down would go into the box.
Okay.
And a complete success means no ones go into the box.
I'll reminisce to re-roll 1. 2? Should I do 2?
You tell me?
Yeah, I'll do 2.
As you climb up the pegs on this board where a bunch of like churros and crunchy treats are hanging, you feel yourself slip and fall backwards. And as you spin around, you see you are about to like hit into one of these spikes. And it might not, this is not like a super dangerous, but it's going to hurt. It's going to feel bad. You're going to look lame doing it.
Oh, not again.
As you start falling, you reflect back, you flash back to 2 of your past lives where something similar had happened. You were, what was happening that was similar, and what did you do then?
So the first one is definitely like early in my outdoor days where I was wandering. I hadn't really found like a guide yet and so wasn't really sure what I was doing, and like wandered over to like a pet store or bodega, and I saw there were like yummy looking things up there. And so which was like, oh, at home I climb over everything. And so let me jump up on the shelves, and jumped up on the shelves to go knock things down to take them. And we'll make it like a grocery store because they'd be more likely to be mad there's a cat there than a bodega. Came with like a broom and fully just like smashed me down from the shelves and was like, no, bad, and shooed me out of there. So it was another instance in which climbing up and trying to get all the yums didn't go so good. The second memory would be from like being much younger, more of like a kitten, and coming out of and like the little cat carrier and exploring my new home and seeing that there were all sorts of places to climb, and just remembering all of the times that I, especially when I was really little, thought I was going to make the jump, and like I tried to make the jump and then I did not make the jump and I missed.
Go ahead and roll 2 dice. Reroll 2 dice. Anything but 1s or 6s.
Let's do 2 of the 5s. That's a 4 and a 5.
4 and a 5. Okay, no change.
No.
So mark off 2 of your lives that you have like reflected on, and because it's a failure, all of the 1s go into the box. Okay. Box in the center of the table is a secret. No one is allowed to look inside. We move a little step closer towards the end of the game as dice begin to be removed from the table.
Do I at least like knock 1 or 2 churros down as I also fall down?
With a complete failure, you jump up, and as you slam into a spike, you kind of like end up flying backwards. Like it kind of like just redirects your momentum, and you land on the floor. You're able to land on your feet, and then a bunch of stuff falls on your head. You see the spike of like churro containers has been planted firmly in place, and this is all like vegan healthy snacks that are in no way meat based.
Grumpy cat.
Midnight Muscadines is a cozy, dark tabletop role-playing game where light and shadow intertwine in a fractured world. Players take on the roles of marmoteers, brave adventurers who journey into the untamed wilderness to collect the elusive Midnight Muscadines, craft magical jams, and protect the fragile light of Nim. Through collaborative storytelling and resourceful gameplay, players weave tales of courage, community, and the pursuit of balance. Will you preserve the light, uncover the truths hidden in the shadows, or reshape the balance of the world forever? Midnight Muscadines is perfect for fans of Studio Ghibli and Sea of Stars who seek to capture the magic of exploration and the heartfelt adventure in a world where small heroes make a big impact. Play Midnight Muscadines as a traditional GM'd game, GM-less, or even solo. Midnight Muscadines is crowdfunding now on BackerKit. Join the campaign at pandeongames.com/muscadines.
I'm Quinns of tabletop role-playing game review show Quinn's Quest, and this is Play to Find Out. Play to Find Out is an actual play podcast that brings notorious old games from the 80s and 90s back to the table. Each season of Play to Find Out, I'm joined by Emily Johnson and Rob Morgan.
Good? Nervous?
Yeah.
You both looked at each other really concerned, like you think what's about to happen is going to be unpleasant. And frankly, I think that's rude. And together, we explore the TTRPGs of ages gone by. Our goal, to separate the TTRPGs that deserve to be remembered from those that maybe don't. I don't know, Emily. It was the 80s. A lot of people were on cocaine. We blow the dust from decrepit systems to learn how they work. Your 100 on the encounter table bursts out. Right, you've encountered a fog. Get ready. Don't laugh.
There's one get ready for a fog.
Don't laugh. Encounter their unique quirks.
I do finger guns to cover up how I wince.
A weird thing happens as you do finger guns.
Oh no.
And I'm hoping that the Quinn's Quest community will join us in exploring these games too. If you this up, cannot describe to you how much your adventure ends here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because the best way to learn is to play to find out. Play to Find Out is available now on the Quinn's Quest Patreon, but the first episode of each series streams for free on the Quinn's Quest YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts. Anyway, you failed the Earth Tech roll, and you made jokes while I was doing my exposition, so you don't get to hear any more.
Oh, no. Come on.
I was shook.
You see the box that is sitting nearby all of a sudden begins to shake a little bit, and you see a bunch of black sparks begin to fly out of it, and she goes, "Oh, no!" She goes, She starts holding it, and it's shaking her arms. She goes, "It's unstable. I don't know how long this portal will stay open. Quickly, if you want to have any chance, you gotta go now.
We gotta jump in the box?
You gotta jump in the box.
We gotta jump in the box?
If you fence, you sit.
I sit!
I leap into the box.
You fly into the box. You guys see Brownie leap into the box at full speed. And as Heidi's holding the box up sideways, she flies in and does not fly out the other side. There's no hit or impact, just vanishes. You see the sparks begin to go even stronger. What do you guys do as you see this box starting to shake and rattle in her hands?
I jump in. I say, "And Brownie, I'm coming!" And I jump in, not as high speed, but I jump in.
You give a little wiggle and jump inside. She turns to you, Smooth Rudy, as the box is beginning to expand and then contract. It's I can't hold it open much longer. And you see the flaps of the box begin to magnetically shut. And she's grabbing them oh shit, Barley, help me out. Barley grabs one of them with his mouth and is just wrenching it with his full might. You hear from the side of his mouth go, "Get in there, quickly!"
Oh my God. As wind is whipping past me and papers are flying all
Yeah.
around. Rudy just locks eye contact with Heidi and is "Okay, I'm jumping in, but we're coming back for those churros." And then I leap in.
As you leap in, you just hear her go, "Wouldn't have it any other way." And as you fly in, each of you find yourself in this black, inky abyss as the light from behind you, as the four corners of the box slam shut behind you with a cardboard metallic slam. You guys find yourself floating in an inky void for a moment, kind of pawing around and trying to get some traction, but you're just kind of floating and going up and down and backwards and forwards. You guys see a mote of light off in the distance. What do you guys do?
It feels like that one time that I fell in a bathtub and it was actually kind of nice. And you float. It was nice.
Well, how'd you get out?
I was pawing at the side of the tub and it was really slippery, and so one of my humans had to help me out.
We don't have any humans here. We gotta go towards that light. We gotta go towards that light.
Yeah. Suppose Rudy, you think that's right?
Yeah, we gotta be self-sufficient here. We gotta move toward that light.
Okay, alright, self-sufficient. Alright, ready?
And I'm just doing the dog paddle thing.
the air.
As you begin to doggy paddle your way, you begin to feel a bit of momentum building on you, and you see that mote of light that was just a speck in the far-flung distance begin to become a small, little crunchy-sized speck, and then a quarter-sized speck, and you feel it getting closer, but you can't. There's no wind in here. You can't sense movement. All you can see is this small mote of light getting larger and larger with no sense of distance other than the size of this little white dot. As you do, you feel something strange happen. As you move, you begin to feel the fur on the back of your tail all of a sudden just goes straight up. Smooth Rudy, you feel your tail just go erect because you don't have any. Yeah, there's no better way to say that. You feel your wrinkles kind of go taut. You guys all of a sudden feel your fur bush out entirely. And all of a sudden you see, or rather you can't even see it, but you can sense it. That same black lightning that you were seeing coming out of this box is all of a sudden shooting around you. You can't see it in this blackness, but every now and then it crosses in front of that mote of light. You see this terrifying black inky darkness. All at once you hear and feel an impact in the center of your little tummies. I'm gonna need everyone to roll on the quantum powers table.
This is what we're waiting for.
Abby, why don't we start with you? Go ahead and roll a d6.
Oh, man. That's a 3.
Tree.
Bend minds, twist nightmares, and maybe get some early dinner with your haunting meow. All of a sudden in this darkness, you hear a small little meow echo out and multiply and pitch shift up and down, and you hear it from all around you. Not only all around you in a physical space, but internally, externally, from this plane and other planes, you hear a cacophony unlike any other that is just a small from Brownie. And it is all encompassing, and you feel the weight of it, and you immediately understand that if that's what you feel with a small, what could you possibly be feeling with a true cat's meow?
Oh, boy.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll in the quantum power table.
Time to roll. Okay. 6.
Now you're going to be finally able to reach the top shelf where they keep the treats.
Yes.
You feel your body begin to shake violently. And then all of a sudden you feel that shaking become a vibration and become a timbre of something. And all of a sudden, as it hits, you hear a quick mote of sound. Bing! And you find yourself, all of a sudden you see that mote of light grow immensely. As you all of a sudden are teleported from where you were to hundreds, thousands of feet in front of where you just were. You have the power of teleportation.
Whoa. Incredible.
Your zoomies have reached a whole new level.
This was my biggest dream, too. This is exactly what I wanted.
You guys, looking ahead at that mote of light, see a small Steve Jobs-sized speck in front of it, as all of a sudden Steve Jobs is way in front of you guys. Smooth Rudy, go ahead and roll on the quantum powers table.
I got a 5.
You've always seemed like you're part liquid, but now you really are. Feline duality. You have been able to move in and out of small spaces all your life. You've been able to climb quickly and burrow quickly when you wanted. You had a complete control of your body. But as you are moving in this space, you stretch out a little bit and you feel your arms begin to stretch further. You all of a sudden, you look and way off in the distance, you see this Steve Jobs-like speck and you kind of reach out for it and you feel your paw going and going and going, and you feel your body getting less viscous and then more viscous and becoming, you feel it harden and then soften. You feel yourself move from solid to liquid to gaseous state all at once as you all of a sudden fly forward in this like gaseous, partially liquid state and find yourself immediately next to Steve Jobs as your body is roiling in this, quite frankly, any state of matter that you can think of in any moment. Whatever feels the easiest and best for you, you find yourself instinctively doing it.
Hey, gang. Something feels weird. I feel smoother than ever before.
Smooth Rudy, that was sick.
Guys, wait for me. I feel like Brownie is very used to being a copycat, being able to do what everyone else is doing. So she's stretching her arms out as long as she can, trying to be like, I can stretch to reach them.
As you stretch to try to reach them, you accidentally find yourself like rolling over. Like you accidentally decide to do a somersault, and as you do, you just let out the smallest meow and find yourself rocketed towards them. You have not been able to feel any sense of movement in here, but any bit of wind that may have existed that seemed to be almost negligible, you feel in full force as you fly forward, slam into these two.
Hey guys!
You guys find yourself rocketing towards that mote of light. That mote of light that was a quarter-sized for the past 15 minutes is now very quickly expanding to the size of the sun, and all of a sudden you find yourselves... You fly through this mote of light into the liminality. Dang. As you guys kind of adjust your eyes and you kind of look up, it's bright, and you've just been in this space of not darkness, but absence. This space between the space between. You find yourself now in this new space. As you adjust your eyes to the light, what is it that you guys see? What does the liminality look like? Where is it the cats go when they lose a life?
Oh, man.
I feel like, the first thing that Rudy locks his eyes onto is a cat tree, but it's made out of clouds, like the backgrounds in Disney's Hercules.
Yeah.
Next to one of those trees, you see a tumbleweed flies down the street, but the tumbleweed is made of balls of yarn. Brownie, what do you see?
Oh, man. I think the ground is a mix of like there's grass, but it's fake, like very soft, like a furry blanket sort of, or like a rug almost, but it looks like grass. And then there's just like little, I don't know what better way to describe this other than like a harem, where there's like little patches of like piles of pillows and blankets and other sorts of like lounge areas.
Sure.
Of lots of little pillow forts and piles of comfy, cozy things you could like burrow into.
Yeah, as you kind of like rub your eyes with your little paws, you look up and see, still kind of like you look around and like this looks kind of like Coney Island, a little bit. Like you kind of see a large structure and you're like, what is that? And all of a sudden you realize that the Wonder Wheel is still there and still the same size, but made entirely of pillows. And now it makes so much more sense that like the cats, these like spectral quantum cats, are like climbing underneath it and stuff. You look around and all of the buildings are this harem of pillows and cozy little areas, and there aren't any doors anymore. It's just like areas you can burrow through with little like entrance signs say like, hey, welcome, come on through, just burrow right through.
Little cat flaps.
Little cat flaps everywhere. Steve Jobs, what do you see?
I see just like a full street of everything's a bodega. And every
All
bodega
bodegas all
is
the time.
owned by cats.
You see a bunch of pillow fort bodegas,
Yeah.
all of them advertising various types of cat foods and churros and crunchies and gushies, and all of them have like, this little like bubbler water fountains out front.
Totally.
And each one out front, there's like an old man cat who's like sitting there smoking a catnip cigar.
Exactly.
And each one is just like, the kids these days, they don't know what I had to go through to open up this shop. And then you see like there's a wife behind each one who's like, he doesn't have to do the hard work. We do all the hard work. They know. It's like, you don't even know. They're all playing dominoes.
Except their version of dominoes is they just sort of bat one and then the next guy bats another one.
Yeah, it just slowly kind of makes a mosaic of dominoes.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to the game.
No.
But if you play it long enough, you figure out who wins. You guys find yourself in here, and you hear the voice of Heidi kind of ringing out through this this moat of, as you turn around, what looks to be just like a black dot in the sky, clearly like where you came through. Just goes,
Thanks, Heidi.
"You're welcome."
Rudy looks up above the black dot and notices that there's like a giant cosmic cat's tail going straight up over it.
You guys have truly gone through the fullest experience of a cat and come right out the ass end of it into the liminality. You guys find yourself in this space. You see there are a bunch of like cats around, and you see off in the distance there is a kind of like vroom, vroom, kind of force field that you know is the limits of this like spectral sanctuary that Heidi has set up. But it's not a very large sanctuary. Like you see it, it's only a couple 100 feet in the distance, and this space is beginning to get crowded. Like there's a reason that cats are playing on the Wonder Wheel. A, it's fun, and B, you are surrounded by cat lives. They all kind of regard you as one of their own. They don't seem to like notice that you seem any different. You see yourselves kind of in this slightly spectral form. You see a bit translucent and transparent. The world looks much as it did, but wildly different as well. And you know what your mission is, and you know where you are supposed to go. What do you guys do?
Oh, guys, I really, really want to play on the Ferris wheel, but I feel like we gotta get back. Can we still take the subway? If we're in here? You think we can fly?
There's only one way to find out.
Oh, boy.
Let's give it a go.
Let's do it. Ready? Set. Stretch! Do we do it? Are we there?
You see one of these bodega owners comes up with a catnip cigar, goes, "You trying to fly?"
Yeah.
"Yeah, well, you can't fly here."
Oh, man.
I know, it seems like you should be able to fly in like this place, but nah, you can jump really high though. Try to jump.
Jump really high?
Yeah.
Okay. Brownie sort of does the like butt wiggle like thing where she's like looking up at something like very like kind of making a jump and then being like, no, reset. That wasn't the form. That wasn't right. Well, and then she jumps up into the air.
Go ahead and roll dice pool for me.
Oh man. Hey Brian, would you believe that there's 3 more ones? No 6s.
And no 6s?
I'm gonna burn one with memory
Okay.
of a past life. God, no, because it won't even matter because I would need to roll 3 of them. This is getting way small, way fast, friends.
As a Hellcat, I'm only allowed to re-roll my own rolls, right?
Rules as written, yeah. However, you could spend some of your past lives to help re-roll the dice if you want.
Can I do that too or no?
You have it slightly differently. You can actually spend your lives that you have left to re-roll any dice.
Oh.
You could re-roll some of the ones, but you are actively spending your lives rather than just reminiscing on past lives. So it's a more powerful ability, but it comes with a bit of a higher cost.
What is the best case scenario? We get not ones and we continue our mission. I guess what's the pros and cons?
Smooth Rudy and Brownie cannot re-roll ones, correct? We can roll everything except for 1s or 6s?
Correct.
So I think either that we would roll some of the other dice and hope that it's a 6, or we can re-roll probably 2 or 1. I'm sorry, or 3 of the 1s and hope that they're anything other than a 1.
Okay.
If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you want
think
them
so.
to be 6s, but if they're not 1s, then it's a mixed success / we just lose fewer dice.
Right. Okay.
Fewer dice go into the box.
What do you want to do?
Oh, man. I'm happy to spend a life memory to re-roll one of the extra, like one of the not 1s. I don't know if it's going to make that big of a difference, but I'm happy to do it.
I'm also happy to spend a life. I feel like our mission is more important than 1/9 of my life.
All right, so then maybe You re-roll one of the ones, and I'll
Great.
re-roll one of the other dudes.
I love it.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Jobsy.
Rudy's going to sit back and watch what happens first, and then maybe step in if the
Obsessed.
situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obsessed. I got a 6.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
From a 1 to a 6.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. So it's okay, so you've gone from a complete failure, losing
Holy
3
shit.
dice, to a complete success, losing no dice. This guy, you see him, and he's
Oh,
like,
wait, do I have to tell you what my memory was that I used?
oh, yeah, what was your memory?
So, because it was a success, it's again from when Brownie was little and was previously remembering like her trying to leap up and she doesn't make the leap. And there was one particular bookshelf that she really wanted to get up onto, and it was really high up there, and it was like a little bit slippery because it's like wood, and so there's nothing to grip onto when you get up there. And the first time that she did the perfect little butt wiggle, perfect little whoop, and she gets up on top of the shelf.
Yes.
You remember
The
the
view
form.
was incredible.
You remember the form, and as you go to kind of make this practice leap, Steve Jobs, you immediately clock what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
This guy clocks you guys as like new to the area and is fucking with you. You immediately see that like you look around, there's no cats that are jumping high. Like some other cats are jumping, they're jumping regular.
Yeah.
And you see him like waiting to literally like pull the rug out from under her as like a prank. You see like his wife is in the back and is like, this again, okay. He's got this shit-eating grin on. He's got his kitten claws on the rug that is directly beneath her feet because there's rugs everywhere.
Yes.
What do you do to subvert his dastardly plan?
I again go for the ankles.
Your signature move.
Yep, my signature move. Nothing to hurt him, but all 4 of his little paws I give some scratches, focusing on the paws that are on the rug.
Brownie, as you do this perfect butt wiggle and go to leap, you feel for a moment, you see his eyes kind of go like narrow in this kind of like devilish way. He moves to pull back the rug out from under you, and as he does, you see a flash as Steve Jobs like tackles him by the ankles and kind of claws at him. He goes, "Ow, oh fuck, get off me." And you leap. You get like a pretty good leap. It's definitely nothing otherworldly, but you leap and then land directly on top of this guy. He's laying down on the ground. All the bodega cats are like laughing at him. All their wives are laughing at him. And you see that above it says he is the owner of the Lorimer Gourmet, but it just happens to be located in Coney Island. You land on the ground. He's just like, "Oh, get off me. He kind of like quickly brushes himself off and goes, "Oh, fucking newbies." And he kind of saunters back into his bodega trying to like maintain some semblance of dignity. But as he does, he kind of brushes himself off. You see a familiar yellow card land on the ground. You see a subway token or a subway card.
Yeah, Roy, I feel like this is one of those instances where you're talking about like not trusting people, maybe waiting a little bit. Maybe I should have waited before I did some leaps.
You live and learn.
Yeah. I've been doing that. I'm running out of those though. What is it? Shiny!
You grab it and you see instead of MTA it says Meowta.
Meow,
And as you pick it up, there is a like ping on the card, and you see off in the distance there is like a pew pew of the nearby Coney Island stop, still just inside the edge of this zone of protection that Heidi has set up.
Oh, so are we gonna have to go outside the zone of protection? I guess she said it'd be dangerous.
Hey, we gotta be brave, and we
Yeah.
gotta remember this is for all of cat humanity, catmanity.
You got this, kid.
Catmanity doesn't make sense, but it sounds good. But we could also felininity.
Yeah.
Very important to me that we get. I think I'm gonna stick with catmanity.
I feel like that makes sense. Yeah,
Pause
yeah.
in.
Yeah, pause it.
Pause in.
All right, team. Cats.
Yes.
And then we go. And then we do it.
You guys find your way on the the Q train heading back into Manhattan to transfer to the L to get back to South Williamsburg.
Totally.
Thanks for letting me be in charge of the directions today, guys. It makes me feel like a real rough and tumble key, like a real outdoor New York key.
Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't keep singing "Broadway's Dark Tonight" by the Goo Goo Dolls on the subway, but I am gonna say, like,
It is
just
a song
be
of my
mindful of it. Or give my regards to Broadway. It just really does put a target on your back. But at the same time, like, I really respect and treasure your enthusiasm.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, your passion is great, but you just got to be careful. You gotta keep your head on a swivel out there. You don't want to be a target.
Right. Yeah. Head on a swivel. Head on a swivel. I feel like she's just.
Okay, we may be overcorrected.
Right. No. Gotta look at all the things. Zoom. 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 Zoom.
As you are looking around at all the things, it strikes you as you kind of make your way back towards Manhattan and then back into Brooklyn because of your circuitous directions. You got on this train, and also the subway trains here are all comfy couches. Like, all the seats are couches, and all of the handles are all like cat tower type things. You can climb
like
and
rope
crawl.
towers you can scratch at.
Yeah, all of the cushions are absolutely torn up. When you boarded the train, there were some of these spectral cats with you. As you got into Manhattan, there were some. As you make your way back into Brooklyn, you see the stations getting emptier and emptier, and by the time you get to your stop, you don't see anyone on the platform waiting. Your subway car is empty, and as you make your way up the stairs into South Williamsburg, you look around and see a ghost town. You don't see any cats frolicking. You don't see any bodega owners smoking their catnip cigars. You don't see the other Lorimer Gourmet that's right here. Seems completely abandoned, and actually seems like it's been egged a whole bunch in the past. There's a lot of like graffiti, like dogs rule. You've only been in this world for a little while, but every minute you've been here, it's been like lots of cats or some cats, and it's felt familiar and fun, and even like better than you felt in a while. You've felt this camaraderie that you haven't. Back here, you feel like you are back where you started. There's no one around.
All these cushions are suspiciously whole. There's no scratches, no stuffing coming out.
I got a bad feeling about this. Head on a swivel, gang.
Yeah.
This is spooky.
What are you guys looking for? Where are you guys going?
We gotta find that laundromat.
Oh yeah, forgot about the laundromat.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're looking for.
I think Brownie waits for Smooth Rudy to maybe like get ahead a little bit, and then sidles up to Jobs and like, Jobs, do you want to maybe like go over to like the alleyway where your mom used to hang out and see if like maybe this is where she's been hanging out?
You know, I was kind of wondering if this is where she was. If she was like, she disappeared into whatever this is. And then it would be kind of cool to see the old painting again.
Painting of Steve Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Your namesake.
My namesake.
Yeah.
Hey, Smooth Rudy.
Yeah, what's up?
Can we make one quick pit stop, turn right here down this alley?
This particular alley? This alley where Siri used to hang out?
Just to see. I have to take a shit.
Oh, by all means.
Yeah, I mean, Rudy, we're in like a scary place, and like sometimes you just need a safe place to do your business. And so let's just Jobs, is real rough and tumble, and like I learn a lot from Jobs, but also Jobs is a kitten. We like let him have a little safe space,
Hey, it's all good by me. I got bad memories of this particular alley. If anybody wants to take a shit on it, fine by me.
I've darted down this alley, and I'm exploring and looking around, and I do find a painting of Steve Jobs. Except in this, I feel like in this world, it's like a cat Steve Jobs.
Yeah, in the original painting, it's Steve Jobs holding a cat like Marlon Brando in The
Yeah.
Godfather. With this, it's reversed.
Reversed. Exactly.
It's just a cat cradling like a baby Steve Jobs, but with
Yes.
regular Steve Jobs' face. And the cat is also like taking a picture of him on his iPhone.
Yes. Oh my God. Yep.
As you go down this alley, go and roll the dice roll for me.
All of them?
Yeah, as you kind of look around, see how successful you are in like finding something.
Oh,
6.
no ones.
No ones, 2 6s.
Okay,
Huzzah.
you run down this alley, and as you're looking around, you find the spot where you were born and like raised a little bit, and a spot that you came back to a lot throughout your life. Now with this fun inversion of Steve Jobs' portrait, which you enjoy. Behind the dumpster, you kind of push the dumpster to the side the way you did. You're a bit stronger now than you were as like a baby kitten, but you're still not particularly strong. You kind of have to like elbow your way through it to kind of get back here. And as you do, the dumpster that seems unchanged kind of wheels a bit, and on the back you see scratches all over it. But you don't see scratches like something clawing at it. You see very regular ticks of someone scratching days past. 4 ticks and a slash, 4 ticks and a slash. And you see dozens, if not hundreds, of these slashes.
What do you find out down there, Jobsy?
Guys, I know I'm just a kitten, but I'm developing a theory. There's a lot of tally marks, and all of them add up to 3 months. All of them add up to 3 months and 3 months and 6 days. Okay, so that would be what? 3 times 3 is 9. 90 plus 1, 31 month. 31 day month. So 91 plus 6 days. There's 97 total tally marks, the exact number of days my mom has been missing. Do we find that weird?
Oh. Does it look like her claws?
Yeah, it does. Some of the tally marks are a little, have a little, like a little dent in them, and one of her claws was sort of like, kind of like
Like a little gnarl.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So all signs point to yes.
Oh, no. But they stopped?
At 97.
At 97.
I will say you count up the ticks again, and you kind of do the math in your head, and you're like, 97, that's about when she left. And then you kind of think again, you're like, oh, wait a minute, but there was like February was a leap year, and you kind of like, you do a couple of things.
Yes.
There's a few days unaccounted for here. And you see what you kind of like look and you see where the older scratches have been like rusted over a little bit with time, and the newest scratches are fresh, but not today fresh.
Yeah.
You kind of do a bit of, backtracking calculus, and you realize this scratch has got to be like a couple of days old, maybe a week old. You would think that this last scratch might have been made around the time cats' lives were starting to disappear.
Yes. Okay, if I'm putting everything together, I feel like my mom has been missing for the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She might have something to do with or know about why are these lives missing?
She is so knowledgeable. She taught me so much stuff.
Do you
Knowledgeable.
think she's not too knowledgeable? And Aunt Brownie, you gotta admit, my mom wasn't Superman. She wasn't. She had flaws.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah. Sometimes she made some choices.
You guess so. That woman was flaws with claws.
I wanted to. You were right. Thank you so much, Rudy, for finding that.
I don't know. I mean, she was the first outdoor kitty who was really nice to me. And she was.
But nice doesn't mean good. I know I'm just a kitten, but I'm not stupid, you guys. I think my mom is behind this.
Oh, Jobsy, it's gonna be okay. No, I'll bet your mom's just like, yeah, she made some choices and stuff, but I'm sure that maybe she was like trying to fix it. Maybe, it's okay, Jobsy. It's gonna be okay.
Exactly why we were the three that were put to the task. Because we are the ones that can stop her. Assuming she is, behind all of this.
Oh, no.
Wait, but who's our villain? Oh, no.
Rudy, I know that she maybe wasn't the best to you sometimes, but you don't think she'd steal other kitties' lives, do you?
I wouldn't put anything past that woman. Not a single thing.
You guys should just maybe call out, see if she's around. I'm gonna use my haunting meow.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll the
Just have
dice
it
pool.
echo out in hopes of echolocation, finding a cat and bouncing that.
Yes.
You tune your meow to a frequency. And as you do, you see the hair on Steve Jobs' back kind of raise up as you kind of warble back and forth between these pitches. You send this out pew, 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 in this kind of echolocation thing. Go ahead and roll the dice pool.
Well, I'm not a good roller, friends. All right, so that's 2 1s, 3, 4, 4 4s. Woo! 2 2s and a 5. That feels
God.
like a success to me.
That is very much not a success. Do you want to try to augment the rolls in any way?
4, 5 left that I can reminisce about. Yeah, I'm gonna use 1 to reroll a dude.
Okay, go ahead and reroll.
I'm trying to think about what my life story is. It's a 3.
As you are trying to control this power, you feel it kind of gurgle up in the back of your throat. And Smooth Rudy, as you hear this kind of weird pitched thing kind of emanate from Brownie, you instinctively step back, almost recoil, and your foot hits directly. Squeak! You look down and you see a puppy chew toy directly beneath your feet. As your meow kind of is about to go out, this squeak rings out. You swallow back your meow as the squeak echoes through these empty streets and hallways. Squeak, squeak. Somewhere in the distance you hear.
Oh, guys, I might have told a dog we're here. My bad.
Typical Siri, even getting us into trouble when she's not around.
Oh, no.
And Smooth Rudy, as you're kind of in this alleyway and you hit this squeaky toy, you are very familiar with this alleyway because Siri used to hang out here. This was like kind of your guys' hangout. You chilled here all the time. And you were like back getting in trouble, a young Hellcat. And this was also the place where you were meant to meet up when your getaway captain of Siri didn't show and you got caught. You hear this squeak emanate out. You hear this growl somewhere in the distance. And then you hear the sound of paws running towards you from a couple of angles. You guys hear this sound getting closer and closer and closer. What do you guys do?
Hey, come on, I know a back way out of here.
Okay.
And I point to like a sewer grate.
You go to a sewer grate. You reach your paws underneath. You kind of, with your liquid ability, are able to kind of get under this thing and pull it. Go ahead and roll the dice pool.
We're down to 7. Okay, we got 1 1 1 6 1 1 1 6.
So it's a mixed success. So the 1 will go into the box unless you want to try to augment anything.
I mean, I don't have to pay to use my Hellcat power, right? I can just use it.
No, that's just the thing you can do.
Let's do it. Let's roll these dice.
Okay. As a Hellcat,
Reroll
you can
all of them?
You can reroll all the dice. whatever the result is the result. There's no augmentation that can change it.
Well, that counts.
6.
Yeah.
Let's go, gang.
And that's it for part 1 of this Schrodinger's cat playtest. Tune in next week to see if this feline trio can rescue their lost lives, or if they're about to lose the rest of them. You can follow the show on Twitter at MyFirstDungeon, and if you want to learn even more about all the cool stuff we're doing, I highly encourage you to subscribe to the 20-sided newsletter, our bi-monthly newsletter about TTRPGs, game design, and all the cool things going on in this great community. Subscribers get access to extended interviews with our guests, as well as articles and exclusive first looks at games that Elliot and I are designing, and so much more. And if you like this show, the very best way you can support us is by going to your podcast player right now, clicking follow, and leaving us a review. It really, really does help more people find the show, and it lets us know that you like what we're doing. And as always, remember, if you're having fun, you're already doing it right. Bye-bye, everybody.
If you're hearing this, that means you have listened to every last second of this episode, and that probably makes you a fan of this show. Well, if you're a fan and you like what we're doing and want to help others find it as well, then consider leaving us a 5-star review over on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Getting more ratings really does help more people find the show, and reading your nice words about the things that we put out into the world makes us feel all warm and good inside, and we want more of those good feels. So head on over to your podcast player of choice and leave us a 5-star review. Thanks.